The following contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, the WWE Women's Champion from Toronto, Canada, Trish Stratus. The opponent from Richmond, Virginia, Mickie James.
JR, can you imagine Smackdown putting on a match half as good as this?
No disrespect intended for our Smackdown colleagues, but no, I can't, King. I truly believe Raw is a dominant brand of sport. Oh boy, this is not going to be an easy hole to escape from.
It sure isn't, JR. I've been on the wrong end of that one many times. Who you want to win this matchup, JR, but it's been pretty obvious since the start of the show who you're pulling for.
I'm trying to remain as objective as I can, King. Quite frankly,
he's going for the cover, JR. Oh man, that was almost 3, JR. I think I know who's going to win this one, JR.
Oh really? Enlighten us, King.
Wait a second. Why are you so eager to hear my prediction?
Because I want to know who's going to win. And 9 times out of 10, it's not the superstar you pick. Well, you can't ever accuse the WWE fans of being shy about saying what's on their minds.
You sure can't, JR.
And it's been reversed. There's no doubt that Mickie James is an outstanding competitor, but she's got a head full of bad wiring or something.
Yeah, but I can overlook that from someone as cute as her. Do you think if I told her she had a beautiful body, she'd hold it against me?
You know, she's so crazy, that line just might work, King.
After some of the things we've seen in this ring, JR, I think we'd better remind the folks at home not to try this stuff themselves.
That's for damn sure, King. The WWE superstars are trained professionals.
And even they don't walk away from every match in the best shape.
They sure don't. We've seen more than one superstar taken out of here on a stretcher.
It looks like they've slowed the match down a little. I think that's some...
The submission is locked in. This could be huge.
Oh my gosh, JR! You can't go long without tapping out to this.
I think this crowd's giving these superstars a piece of their minds, King.
Are you sure they can afford it, JR?
These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight.
They've already got a pretty good start on that, JR.
They have indeed, King. I don't think there's an ounce of quit between them.
Yeah, that's where things get dangerous. If you're too proud to admit that it's not your night, you might wind up risking your career for a single match.
But at the same time, King, no one makes it up the ladder without pushing themselves to the very limit. It's a very fine line to walk.
Man, Mickie James is such a cutie. I wonder what it'd take to get her to come home with me.
I don't think it would be too hard, King. I've heard she followed lots of people home, and most of them wound up filing restraining orders against her.
Watch what you say, JR. I won't stand here and let you talk about the woman I love like that. I don't care how tough you are, JR. No one can take this kind of pain for long.
You're absolutely right, King. We've seen many superstars tap out to this very hole.
Listen to the crowd, JR. I think they've got something to say to these superstars.
And if they're smart, they'll listen. Remember, no! How can a referee allow something like that?
Come on, JR. You know that the referee's health plan doesn't include vision.
Did you see that? Ring the damn bell! You can't let somebody get away with that.
I don't think the ref saw it, JR. And if the ref doesn't see it, it's not illegal. Here's the cover, JR.
A textbook reversal there. Boy, I don't know what Mickie James' problem is, but this girl is goofy as a pet coon, no doubt about it.
That's a little harsh, JR. I prefer to think of her as feisty.
I know what you'd prefer, Pete, but the simple fact of the matter is that this young woman is several sandwiches short of a picnic.
So she's watching her diet. But some...
Oh, come on down. How about a little more wrestling and a little less posture? Her opponent is dazed and confused. Can she capitalize?
She sure can, JR. That mitt kick will do a number on anyone.
And here's the pin.
1, 2. Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling. And there's the cover. 1, 2. Oh, for the love of... Talk about having no respect for your opponent.
Well, if you've got a problem with it, maybe you should do something about it, JR.
This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
They sure are, JR, and I love to hear it. You know, JR, when I saw this match on paper, I wasn't too sure about it. But it's turned out a lot better than I thought it would.
I'm not at all surprised, King. I knew this was going to be a terrific match.
Oh, man. I've been in this hole before, JR. This brings back some bad memories.
I can understand why, King. He may get the 3 count here.
Here's your winner and still the WWE Women's Champion, Trish Stratus.
At least until they found me. Stay close.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in at 248 pounds, John Cena.
And I stay under you fighting, cause I'm storming on you chumps like I'm thunder and lightning. Ain't no way you breaking me.
from San Antonio, Texas, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
I said chill up and down that spine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I make them hot. Whenever I'm around, they see me walk, they hear me talk. I make them feel like they're on cloud nine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. It's a hard girl. Hands off the merchandise.
Watch out! He reversed it!
Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
Oh, really? Well then, why don't you just enlighten the rest of us, King?
No way! I can already tell this is going to be a great match, and I don't want to ruin the ending for you.
You're too kind, King. You're also full of horse manure, as far as I can tell. He's a slippery devil.
These superstars are putting on a great match so far, JR. But if they drop the ball, these fans will let them hear about it.
I don't think that's going to happen, King. These competitors know that their paychecks come straight from the WWE fans. They're not going to let them down.
Yeah, but if they don't keep the fans happy...
If wishes were fishes, the world would be an ocean. But that's not the case now, is it? Boy, this John Cena sure is one of the most exciting young prospects in all of WWE.
Oh, come on, JR. John Cena's a thug. You know it. I know it. And all of these people know it. It makes me sick that he's allowed to be a WWE superstar.
I don't know how you can say that, King. Cena has dedicated himself to entertaining these fans, and quite frankly, I find him to have more character than many so-called respectable superstars.
There's a difference between entertaining the fans and setting a bad example, JR. I think the fact that... Oh, man, I've been in this hole before, JR. This brings back some bad memories.
I can understand why, King. I can't even imagine the pain being inflicted here.
I'm not sure I agree with what the crowd is chanting, JR, but I guess it's their right.
You're damn right it is. It comes from the price of admission.
There's the reversal. He's going for the cover, JR.
Look at Shawn Michaels. The future Hall of Famer has overcome so much adversity in his career. But the Heartbreak Kid's got more heart than anyone I've ever seen in this business.
You know, JR, HBK might be a living legend and all, but I wish he'd just keep his mouth shut and let his actions in the ring speak for him. He's never met a microphone he didn't like.
Michaels has impressed me more times than I can count, King. Even you have to admit that he's done a lot for this business.
Yeah, and the business has done a lot for him. Michaels tries to come off as a goody two-shoes, but when it comes right down to it, he's as much of an egotist as anyone else in the business.
He's got his opponent locked in a submission hold.
We can see a tap out right here, JR.
The submission is locked in. This could be huge.
Oh my gosh, JR. You can't go long without tapping out to this.
This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
They sure are, JR.